Alright, we're back to the TheDnazChannel. And if you haven't tuned in, I don't know where the hell you been, but I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Welcome to my space. This is my space. You're always welcome in my space. Screw anybody else's space. You don't need them, right? Because you're with DNaz. Okay? And today, we're going to get into some shit. We're going to go back in time. We're going to talk about some beautiful, beautiful buildings that humans created. Humans, not aliens, people. Okay? And what drove me to this was everybody talking, oh my God, the pyramids. Oh, they're so crazy. We can't figure it out today. It's a bunch of blocks stacked on top of each other to make a triangle. Okay? It's what it is. All right? We made it. If you think that that is the height of civilization, you have a lot to research. Okay? We have made it so far. And we're not stopping. We're going to keep going, right? We're going to keep going. But we have a lot to learn from our ancestors. We have a lot to learn, a lot of stuff that they haven't told us going to school, right? So we're going to stop being impressed by the pyramids. Let's move on. There's so many other places to visit. And today we are going to visit ancient Greece and a little bit of Rome, right? Okay, because the Greeks are that's the cradle of civilization. Okay, that's where intelligence came from. That when they started expanding the mind, right? That was born in Greece. Okay, philosophia. Okay, two words made as one. Okay, love and wisdom. Philo and Sophia. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so let's talk about the Parthenon. Right, everybody knows the word Parthenon. It's probably a diner near you. It's not what it was back then. It's probably a diner today, but we're going to go to the Parthenon, right? Parthenon, it's 2,500 years old, okay? This thing is made of 13,000 stones. 13,000 stones. And they're handmade, they're hand carved, okay? Because we can't even move some of these stones today. You know from the pyramids and looking into the pyramids how heavy these stones were. Yeah, we think of technology as just like our phones and our computers, right? No, okay? Like, they had technology. It was just different technology. They used vibration, frequency, right? They used, that's what they knew how to manipulate the magnetic field of this earth, right? And I want a little bit about that, right? Magnetism and dielectricity. Dielectricity is a word that you're not taught in school and you should be, okay? Because that's that ether, that medium, right? Scientists today, they don't like the word ether because they didn't invent it. Because the science of the ether has been around for thousands of years, and they just don't want to admit that our ancestors were right all this time. But the deeper they keep going into that quantum realm, the deeper they keep proving the ether right. Okay? It's just like light. Light comes from that ether. It's that medium. When that medium gets disturbed, it creates light, dielectricity, okay? Everything. That is the universe right there. But we're at the Parthenon, okay? So 13,000 stones used to build it, right? And then the base. The base is 23,000 square feet, all right? Huge, right? So the base, it looks straight to the naked eye. Okay, but it's not. There's barely any right angles or straight lines, which is, you would say, well, then how is it intricate? Because they domed it. They had to dome it because if it were to have straight lines, the floor would look like it's sagging. Do you know the math it takes to purposely dome that floor, that structure? The structure is too, but to make it perfect so that to the naked eye it looks perfect. Right? I mean, that's a whole nother level of thinking. Like, let's not just make it perfect mathematically. Let's make it, because if it were, it wouldn't look like that to the naked eye. Let's make it look perfect to the naked eye, right? That's intelligence right there, okay? So, there's also the columns, right? There's 46 outer columns and 19 inner columns, okay? The middle of the columns, they swell out because, again, it's the optical illusion, right? You wouldn't be able to see that with the naked eye, but they also did this because if you stare at it from far away, if like hazy weather or hot weather, it would look distorted. Okay, no, it looks perfect from far away because they calculated that. They were geniuses, geniuses. Okay, so the structure up top too, the facades, I forget how you say it. They dome as well, right? And it took 7,000 workers to build this thing. 7,000. This is another point I make where, you can't get 10 people today to do a project, to get together, right? 7,000 people came together to do this. Why? Because they're building it for the gods, baby. It's for the gods. And who are the gods? That's another thing. What do we consider gods? We think all the Romans and the Greeks, they humanized gods, right? They put them in human image. No, it's because they understood that we are the gods. We are divine. We are the divinity because we are the creators. We are the creators, and that we've proven that time and time again. Because if you get us together, we could do anything. We could go to the moon. We could build anything. We could do anything. Humans are the divine force in this universe. We are the creators. We do it all, right? We are the gods. And they understood that. And that's why their gods are in human form. They didn't think of their gods as something different than us. We just like think that way, okay? So, we're to the building, right? We're to the handcrafted fine curvature of the Parthenon, On the inside, they had a 40-foot statue of Athena. Athena, baby. This 40-foot statue was made of ivory and gold. Do you know the skills it takes to mold ivory and gold in a way that it's perfect proportions in a statue? No, you don't. You don't. And what did we do? We took it apart and took the ivory and gold for our own the greedy people that wanted it, and dispersed it around the world. Why? I don't know, because that's greed. Right? I would rather have that statue there today so we can all look at how beautiful it is, and the work that was put into that. And we just dismantle it. It's crazy, right? So, this might confuse you, Parthenon, Pantheon, but we're going to the Roman Pantheon. And what is Pantheon? That is the heavens. Those are the gods, right? And that is the purpose of this building, to put heaven on earth. And that's what they did. They brought heaven on earth, all right? So the building, it's a dome, and it has a square front. Okay, they squared a circle. I'll say that again. They squared a circle in stone, right? Made a building like that. Okay, do you know the math it takes? Could you square a circle? I doubt it. So the circle and the square coming together, it symbolizes spirit and matter, which is what we are, the soul and the body, right? Again, they understood that we are divine, right? So, the circular room, it's a perfect sphere. Perfect, right? And there's a center hole in it where the sun comes in. That's called the oculus, okay? So, that dome, it embodies the fucking cosmos. It embodies the cosmos. The way the light of the sun comes in it's all about the heavens, right? Not to mention, you could tell the time from the walls, from the way the light comes in. You could tell the exact time just from the light, the way it hits the walls, okay? You know what it takes to build a structure like that? You know the math that has to be done, right? You want to talk about the pyramids? Get out of here, okay? With those blocks, okay? So the dome, right? There's 5 levels to this ceiling, okay? And those represent the 5 spheres, 5 planetary spheres back then, which were the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, okay? Those are 5 planetary spheres, right? I think there's 7, there's us, whatever. But that's what it embodies, okay? So, the light enters at both solstices and both equinoxes, okay? More math for you right there if you want to be impressed, all right? So the whole building is a solar fucking clock, beautifully made, right? And forget when this one was built, but whatever. Okay? Thousands of years ago, whatever. Long time ago. Right? So we forget how powerful that we are as humans and what we can accomplish. All right? If we come together. And that's what we need to do, and that's what we're starting to do, is come together. And that's what the people that control us, that's what they fear. But I'm glad they fear it because they should, right? So, heaven on earth in the Pantheon, sorry, okay? Let me bring you to another great Greek philosopher, astronomer, Aristophanes, okay? In 240 BC, before Christ, he estimated the circumference of the earth accurately, okay? Do you know the intelligence it takes to estimate the circumference of the earth accurately? It's insane, all right? And we think that these people were dumb or like that, they were just throwing rocks or something. Like, no, these people were very intelligent, as are we, right? So, and if you want more proof of crazy math, like all our math comes from back then. You can go look at online the PDF of Ptolemy's Almagest, right? It's a book about the cosmos and, the directions of the suns, the planets, stars, everything. The math in there is crazy. It's crazy, okay? And you would think that math is like very intricate and it's like hard when you first look at it. But if you really read it, that math is like easier to understand than the math we're taught today. Because a lot of the math we have, like algebra, it's fake. It's based off fake. It's based off fake products. Like what if, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't use math like that. They used trigonometry. You know what I mean? They used real math, and it was easier to understand. And that's why they were very smart, because they didn't teach things that were pointless to teach. They taught things that you needed to know, right? They navigated the stars like you needed to know. Like you should look up celestial navigation. You have the circle platform, that's the Earth, and you look at the stars, and you could take a star by what angle that star is from you. You make a triangle, right? 90-degree angle, and the angle the star is to you. Let's say it's like 50 degrees, and you use that to find out your place on Earth. Okay, so I mean, all this math came from back then. It's very, very intricate math and very precise. All right, so more temples. Let's get into the Temple of Poseidon, okay? The Temple of Poseidon, there's 3 temples the Greeks built that are not close to each other, right? The Temple of Poseidon, the Temple of Hephaestus, which is the god of forgery, right? He crafted this world, and the Temple of Athena. Those 3 temples on a map make a perfect isosceles triangle. Perfect, okay? So they're also designing cities this way, kind of like the way we do now, and the Freemasons do it now. If you look at our cities like Washington, D.C., it's all perfect on a map, and the geometry's there. That's how they did it back then. That comes from them. And yes, the Egyptians were smart, because if you look at it, the Greeks did go there. I think the Ptolemies were like, I know Pythagoras brought it back, but Ptolemies were some of the first Greek pharaohs when Greek took over Egypt. And they took the knowledge, because the Egyptians were the ones that were building things like the pyramids and aligning them with the stars. And we took that and we brought it here because that represents heaven on earth, right? That's taking the heaven as above, so below. That's meeting the heavens and the earth, okay? And that's why we do this. That's why we still do this with buildings, right? That way of construction and geometry that never died. We still do that because there's a reason behind it. Because we are the divine and we embody the cosmos. We meet heaven and earth right here. Okay? So then in the Temple of Hephaestus, right, where the light comes in on the equinox, there's a statue in the center of Hephaestus, and the light shines on that statue perfectly when the equinox is. More math that you have to calculate. Only when the sun is in this position is it going to light up that statue. It's nuts, right? So let's go forward in time a little bit. The Cathedral of Notre Dame. Beautiful works. And, this just shows that humans are smart. This is 1,000 years later. It was only like a few hundred years ago it was built, or centuries, I don't know. But the cathedral, all the cathedrals that were built are beautiful. They are, and the math they have are just unreal, and the symbolism that are in them. It's unreal. And the Cathedral of Notre Dame, it perfectly aligns with the Virgo constellation. Okay? It's made, the geometry in there is nuts. It's made up of perfect equilateral triangles. And it has the golden ratio embedded in it, you know, that divine golden ratio, right? So again, more math, more crazy shit, and it blows the pyramids out of the water, right? And the acoustics in these temples are just unreal, right? Like one person could be standing and talking, you could hear it no matter where you are in there. If you were to play music in there, forget about it. Forget about it. So not only do you need to have math in the building, aligning with the stars, how the light comes in, but also how the sound is. You know, like the planning of this is so crazy, and the knowledge it takes is so crazy. And this was humans, man. We are it. Okay. And then you have, let's throw one more, Angkor Wat, right? Angkor Wat's, all right. This temple aligns with the Draco constellation. Do you know where the fuck the Draco constellation is? I sure as hell don't. I know you fucking don't, right? But they did. It's 900 years old, 1,000 years old, this temple. How the hell did they know? You know what I mean? So, like, it also aligns with the sun's zenith, right? And if you remember Zenith, that was the name of a television, right? And that just says everything, the vision of the world, right? It's a, right? Because your zenith, when you were born, where Orion was, when you were born, Orion's at your center, okay? When Orion's at your center, that's your zenith, all right? And that comes back around a few times in your life. That's when you have your spiritual awakening, when Orion hits your center again, okay? So this is very spiritual stuff. This is very calculated stuff, okay? And I just wanted to show you guys how beautiful humans are, how smart we are. And I want you to do some more research. And I'm going to do more research for you. And you're going to find it here on the TheDnazChannel. Tune in next time. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you don't, I'm going to slap your mama. I'll see you again.